North Korea, the land of whispers, is filled with secrets that baffle the world. This enigmatic nation, shrouded in mystery, is known for its strict rules, stringent regulations, and isolationist policies. A world where the ordinary becomes extraordinary and the unheard of becomes the norm. This is a place where whispers echo louder than shouts and the unseen is more impactful than the visible. So let's delve into the unknown, the forbidden, the unseen. But what's the real story behind the curtain of secrecy? Daily life in North Korea is not what you might expect. It's a world where the rhythm of life beats to the drum of state-controlled media, where the internet isn't a global village but a walled garden, and where clothing isn't a personal fashion statement but a uniform of conformity. Let's start with the media. In North Korea, there's no such thing as channel surfing. The government controls the airwaves, painting a picture of the world that aligns with their narrative. Citizens don't just get their news from the state, they get their reality. And then there's the internet, or rather, the limited version of it. Imagine an internet where you can't Google anything, can't share anything on Facebook, and can't stream your favorite shows on Netflix. Instead, North Koreans have a state-controlled intranet, a stark contrast to our world of endless information at our fingertips. Clothing is another facet of daily life that's different. Forget about the latest fashion trends, or expressing yourself through your wardrobe. In North Korea, clothing is about uniformity, simplicity, and modesty. It's not uncommon to see people dressed in similar outfits, especially when it comes to work or school uniforms. But it's not all about control and uniformity. There's also a sense of discipline and unity among the citizens, a collective mindset that's a cornerstone of their society. This unity is evident in the large-scale choreographed events like the mass games, where thousands of performers move as one. Even in the face of hardships, North Koreans display a resilience and a spirit of camaraderie that's truly noteworthy. Yet it's important to remember that daily life in North Korea is far from a romanticized ideal. It's a life under constant surveillance, where even the most mundane activities can be seen as acts of rebellion. Life seems to be under a microscope, with every action being scrutinized. In North Korea, some things are strictly forbidden. Let's delve into some of these untouchable taboos that shape the lives of the North Korean people. International communication, for instance, is strictly monitored and controlled. Citizens cannot make or receive international calls without government approval. This restriction creates a silo, isolating North Koreans from the rest of the world, and making it difficult for them to access global news or connect with family and friends abroad. Another forbidden aspect is religious freedom. While North Korea's constitution nominally guarantees freedom of religion, in practice, it is severely curtailed. The government maintains a tight grip on religious practices, allowing only state-sanctioned religious groups. This lack of religious freedom is a stark contrast to many other nations where people are allowed to practice their faith openly and without fear. Perhaps the most stringent prohibition is the restriction on leaving the country without permission. North Koreans cannot travel abroad without an exit visa, which is rarely granted, and those who do manage to leave and are caught trying to defect face severe penalties, including imprisonment or even execution. This barrier to free movement keeps North Koreans pinned within their own borders, unable to seek better opportunities or escape the regime's harsh rule. These forbidden things aren't just a list of don'ts. They're deeply ingrained in the fabric of North Korean society, shaping the way people live, think, and interact. They're tools used by the regime to maintain control and suppress dissent. While to outsiders these prohibitions may seem harsh and inhumane, for North Koreans they're simply part of their reality, a reality defined by a rigid system of rules and regulations. These restrictions, however, don't tell the whole story of North Korea. They are pieces of a larger puzzle, elements of a complex societal structure that is often misunderstood and misrepresented. But by understanding these forbidden things, we can begin to gain a clearer picture of life in North Korea. The forbidden things are not just rules, they are a way of life that is as intriguing as it is confounding, a way of life that continues to captivate and bewilder the rest of the world. In North Korea, the president is more than just a leader. Picture this, a world where one figure is not merely a political head, but a celestial entity, a godlike figure whose portraits are a mandatory part of every household. Yes, we're talking about the cult of personality in North Korea, a phenomenon that goes beyond mere admiration or respect. In this secluded nation, the president is revered, worshipped, and deified. It's not uncommon to hear stories of North Korean citizens attributing miracles to their leader, from controlling the weather to making the crops grow. This deification is a carefully crafted narrative, a product of state-controlled media and education. The aim? To consolidate power and foster an environment of unwavering loyalty. Every North Korean citizen is expected to hang portraits of the president and his predecessors in their homes, not just as a sign of respect but as a symbol of their undying loyalty. These portraits are not mere decorations but sacred icons that are cleaned and maintained with the utmost care. Let's take a step back and examine what this really means. The cult of personality is not just about the glorification of a leader, it's a tool used by the state to control its people. It instills a sense of fear and obedience, shaping the citizens' thoughts and actions in line with the state's ideology. It's a constant reminder of who holds the power and the consequences of defying it. This extreme loyalty expected from citizens is not voluntary but enforced. It's a survival strategy in a country where dissent is not tolerated. This loyalty is tested and displayed in various ways, from massive parades to public declarations of love and devotion for the leader. We might find this hard to comprehend living in societies where freedom of thought and expression are cherished. But in North Korea, this is the norm, a way of life that has been ingrained in the people for generations. The cult of personality is not just about adoration, but also control. Behind the facade, there's a grim reality. Beneath the surface of national imagery and propaganda, North Korea conceals a darker truth. The nation, often veiled in mystery and intrigue, is plagued by severe human rights abuses. Reports from defectors and international organizations paint a chilling picture of life behind the Iron Curtain. In this hermit kingdom, the state maintains an ironclad grip on the populace, with dissent and defiance met with harsh penalties. The existence of labor camps, reminiscent of those from the darkest chapters of the 20th century, is a testament to this fact. Thousands of individuals, tarnished as political enemies, are subjected to unimaginable conditions, forced labor and brutal treatment. Moreover, the nation grapples with extreme poverty. The majority of its citizens live on the brink of survival, while the elite enjoy luxuries. The stark contrast between the glittering facade and the stark reality is jarring. Food scarcity, inadequate healthcare, and limited access to basic amenities are part of everyday life for many North Koreans. Despite the state's attempts to project an image of prosperity and power, the truth remains hidden away from the prying eyes of the world. The reality of North Korea, far removed from the grand parades and monumental architecture, is one of struggle and suffering. The hidden reality is a chilling testament to the cost of absolute power. North Korea remains an enigma, wrapped in a riddle, inside a mystery. As we've seen today, the daily life in this reclusive nation is unlike anywhere else. From the strict regulations that govern every aspect of people's lives, to the forbidden things that are simply unheard of in most parts of the world, we've explored the cult of personality surrounding the country's supreme leader, a phenomenon that has evolved into a near-religious reverence. We've also delved into the hidden reality that lies beneath the surface, a stark contrast to the picture-perfect facade presented to the outside world. Every aspect of North Korean society is shaped by its unique and mysterious nature, a product of decades of isolation and control. But as much as we've learned, there's still so much we don't know. In the end, the secrets of North Korea continue to fascinate and confound us.